Steve here from the Vinyl Record Mission, and today I'm going to be examining a sealed record that is a holy grail in my collection. Would cost $125 to replace, and by the end of this video we'll find out if it's got a stranglehold on me or if it's just what the doctor ordered.
Your two favorite guys, Ryan and Steve, from the Vinyl Record Mission.
The record that we'll be examining today is a 1975 classic. 2017, it was remastered at 45 RPM by the great Chad Chasm. Analogue Productions released it, and it was pressed at Quality Record Pressings. Yes, and it's this right here. Ted Nugent, baby. This is a grail for me because about that time, 1975, I think I was probably 12 or 13, maybe. And this guy just shredded on the guitar. What a great sound. Everybody remembers Stranglehold. Later on came Cat Scratch Fever, and just amazing, amazing classic rock and roll by the great hardcore American Ted Nugent. Yeah, this record is sealed. As you can see, still sealed in a very thick, unusual outer sleeve, but there it is, Analogue Productions, Quality Record Pressings. Yep, the great Quality Record signage there. 45 RPM, and again, we're back at Amoeba, right? And this overly thick pressing stuff. My concern is that it's very cloudy, and it's not on the outside, folks. Not on the outside. I don't know if you can see that, but it is extremely clouded. See that? That's a little clouding right there. It's not on the outside, but it is so overly sealed. You see that? They use some thick plastic. I'm praying it's not PVC. So we're going to open it up and see what's inside today. Opening up these records from Amoeba, I've told you in the past, can be a real epic ordeal. This record's on Epic. Funny enough, huh? So I don't know if you can see it, but there is literally tape. There's tape across here. It's all like they take a tape gun and just start wrapping it like crazy. So hard to get these undone, but I'm going to try to do it here on video so you can see what I'm talking about. There you go. There's the beginning of the first big piece of tape. See that? So we'll start there, I guess, and see where that leads us. Shoot, it's tearing. Let's see if I can get underneath it. Oh, there's one piece down. Looks like I can grab that piece there. Another. Oh, actually, this one is not quite as bad as some of the others. So they got it across there. And across the front. There we go. There. Came off pretty easily. So you can see it's this thick baggie. I don't think it's PVC, but it's gotten so cloudy that I'm just concerned. So there's the inner baggie. That's the original baggie. We'll take it out of here and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about here. I don't know. You see that? To me, that is signs of off-gassing. There's little ripples. I don't know if you can see the ripples in the bag. There you go. See those ripples? That's something coming off of this plastic. And it has been clouded. The whole cover is kind of cloudy. So one of the things that I've learned with this off-gassing thing is that I was told that it doesn't penetrate laminated covers, I believe, or is it the other way around? That it penetrates laminated cover. I think it's non-laminated covers. The off gas will penetrate. So we're going to open this up and see if the vinyl's okay. It's got that top perforated thing, which should open nice and easy. Music, please. Yes, there's nothing better than a strip tease of a vinyl record. Now, let's see. Cover looks nice. Cover looks actually quite beautiful. I don't see any of that ring wear on it. Moment of truth. I was looking these up on PopPsych, and sealed copies are selling for $125. Now, I could have sold this if I wanted to, but you know what? I'm such a huge fan of this album, and to hear it at 45 RPM, because everybody says that records sound better at 45 RPM. I don't really have a lot of them, and I really don't have many of them to compare, to do sound comparisons to find out if they do sound that much better, to justify, having to get up and change your record every 15 or 12, 15 minutes. But for this, I probably wouldn't be sitting down to listen to it. I'd be standing up with the beer in my hand, rocking out, air guitaring, just totally enjoying myself. And when it comes to jazz, sorry, I don't want to listen to a 45 RPM record. I think they sound great enough at 33 RPMs, for my ear at least. Because when I listen to a jazz record, I really want to be relaxing and sit down and enjoy my cocktail and not have to get up and down, as often. So, well, the good news is that they're in the classic quality record pressing inner sleeves. Yeah. Let's see how they look. I am very pleased with the first one. There's the initials there. Sterling, Ryan K. Smith, the great Ryan K. Smith. Yeah, sound engineer. There's the label, 45 RPM. So that one looks good. Let's check out the other one, because there are 2 discs. This album is on 2 discs. You never know. Sometimes the off-gassing can sneak around back and get the record in the back. Sounds funny. Off-gassing sneaking around back. It's normally how it occurs, right? And this one looks pretty darn good too. So, close call in my opinion. I was really afraid that I was going to be out $125. Well, that's not what I paid for this record, but nevertheless, I was very, very nervous. But the good news is that I have a backup. Yeah, the collection that I got this from had 2 of these. 2 sealed copies. I opened one and listened to it, and it blew me away. And strangely enough, the one that I opened, the first one, was super clean, and it wasn't in that amoeba secondary outer sleeve that, just, I think, suffocates the record. But they do it for whatever reason. They do it for maybe for security purposes or whatever. But nevertheless, it did not harm the record. I am happy to report that this album has a clean bill of health, and it is just what the doctor ordered. And I was afraid I was going to be in a situation where I might find myself in a stranglehold. Okay, enough puns from the song titles on the back that are doctor related. Notice I've got my Cedar Cyanide shirt on, giving you the 911 on off-gassing and potential hazards when it comes to inner sleeves and outer sleeves made of PVC, or maybe just a component of the inner or outer sleeve. It doesn't always have to be 100% PVC. What I'm finding out is that there are sleeves that are made of 100% PVC, but there are also other sleeves where PVC is an additive or a component of the sleeve itself. Might not be 100%, they might add 20% to it or something. But nevertheless, if there is any PVC in there, it's going to have the potential to off-gas. And the hard part is finding out what sleeves those are. So to prevent all of that, once you open your precious vinyl records, I'm going to show you. In this case, these sleeves are pretty safe. This is the quality record pressing sleeve, definitely designed to prevent off-gassing in the right conditions. I believe that it does not off-gas. It has, I'm not sure what it is, but there seems to be a rice paper, I think they call this rice paper, in the back. But funny enough, it seems like it's actually inside this, I'm not sure, this is maybe high density polyethylene, HDPE probably. And the paper part of it is actually encapsulated in the back part of this. So it's up against, the record slides up against this material right here. And maybe this is just to give it some rigidness or some thickness, or to protect the record when it's up against other records. But let me show you what I do with mine that don't have those kind of high quality inner sleeves in them. This is a high density polyethylene sleeve. It's a paper outer, and the inner is lined with the high density polyethylene. You see that? So I will take my newly opened records. I do this with all my records, whether they're sealed or not. Goes into the high density polyethylene sleeve like so. And then my jacket, whatever jacket I have, goes into one of these. Goes into one of these. This is a Japanese polypropylene outer sleeve, and it's a resealable sleeve. So you take it out like this, and a word to the wise: do not leave your Japanese outer sleeves open like this and then set a record cover accidentally on top of it while you're doing this like this, because this band of adhesive will stick to your cover and it will take the color right off. You'll just die trying to protect your records and you ruin it, So make sure that when you open these, you don't leave them laying around like that, or you don't lay them down like this with the flap open on a record, because it will stick to it. And the longer it stays there, the harder it is to peel it off without ruining the cover that it's stuck to. So you'll take this and you will put face first in the front like that. You want the flap to go over. Oh, shoot. See? You want the flap to go over the back of the record so that the front looks pretty. So there you go. You got the flap right here. Make sure you buy the Japanese sleeves with the adhesive on the back and not on the flap, because those are a nightmare. Those are the most difficult. Like, for instance, if you're doing this right here, you have to hold the flap away from the record or else it sticks. In this case, not an issue. Slides right in. See that? Beautiful, glossy. You can see through it. They're not cloudy. And then take your record out, slide it out a little bit just so the flap is out of the way. And then you take your record and you slide it in. Now, some people like to slide them in. If you don't have a seal, you want to slide it in sideways, down like that, so that the dust doesn't drop in. I know that's extreme, but In the case of the resealable, it's sealed, so there's no dust going to get in there. So you slide it in like so, and just push it down in there. Now you can drop the album cover all the way to the bottom and fold over your flap, and you're done. Now you have a perfectly archived or archivable Holy Grail record in your collection. You don't have to necessarily do this only to Holy Grail. As a matter of fact, I recommend that you do this to all of your records. This is my favorite way to keep my vinyl. They're just beautiful. They slide in and out really easily. They don't get cloudy. And they're just, I think they're the best and safest way to protect your vinyl records. And so that was it. Today, I just wanted to invite you to that doctor's appointment for my checkup on my Holy Grail Ted Nugent self-titled 45 RPM reissue from Chad Chasm over at Analogue Productions. And I have listened to this record, and believe me, it is worth every dollar of that $125. I didn't have to pay that. Would I pay that? If I really wanted it, I probably would. But when they first came out, they weren't that much. I guess they're getting harder and harder to come by when they're sealed. But you can find a mint copy of this record, like played once or twice, for $50. So it's definitely worth grabbing a copy if you can get it for, in the $50 range or less. I will be continuing to open more sealed records. Remember, I've got a couple hundred sealed records that I'm going through, dating all the way back to the 50s and through the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s, checking for warps and or off-gassing or any kind of damage that can occur to records when they're sealed. So I'm kind of, time is of the essence here for me to get these records unsealed. So I'll probably be posting some more videos about sealed records. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the Vinyl Record Mission. Until next time, take care.
If you haven't, make sure you hit like and subscribe to the Vinyl Record Mission so that way you don't miss out on any future content. More videos coming your way.